Hi there, friends. Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. Happy Friday, September 16th. First of all, I want to say thank you to the people who placed an order with me yesterday during Stampin' Up's 24-hour only stamp sale. I appreciate your business and appreciate you shopping with me. So far, a good week. It's been a little hectic. I had Andrea and John here on Wednesday evening. Long story, but I was getting rid of two big tool chests with tools inside, and so my son-in-law John got first choice, but one of the chests has been locked because the key broke off in the lock when they moved it to my house. So that took a lot of ingenuity on Andrea and John's part, but they got it. And then John got his pick of the tools. He made sure I had a little toolbox with the necessary things. And then he took some. His best friend Mike came over, and Mike and Anna brought us dinner. And after dinner, Mike got to choose some tools too. And they each went home with a tool chest. So everybody was happy. My garage, we've got a little more space, and I like that. Yeah, so that's why I wasn't here on Wednesday evening, because it took longer than I thought it would. A quick reminder that the class to go that's open for registration now is Eclectic Garden. And this is a fabulous class for simple stamping. I mean, if you love the theme, great. You're going to love it no matter what. But for people who are fairly new stampers, or maybe some you're experienced, but you have difficulty with your hands and such, this is a simple stamping class. Stamps, ink, and paper. That's it. You're going to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs, basically. But one set of 4 will be like this, with a white background. And then the second set of 4, you will be basically making the same card, but adding a layer of cardstock, colored cardstock, to match the stamping. So it's lots of fun. I have options that include the stamp set, or one that does not if you already own the stamp set, or if you would prefer to buy just the PDF tutorial, you can do that. All of the information for the Eclectic Garden Class to Go is on my blog, stampinpeace.com. So you can find it there, as well as past Facebook Lives. I post to my blog, and with the video replay, cutting dimensions, Stampin' Up! Products used, color photos, so you get more detail than just seeing the video. So you can always find those at stampinpeace.com as well. And while you're there, if you like what you see, please subscribe. That way you won't miss any of the blog posts. They go right to your inbox, your email. Okay, today I titled this demonstration, Facebook Live, shining a spotlight on perfectly penciled designer series paper. And I chose the DSP because it is my favorite product on the weekly deals right now. Instead of $12, you can get it for, I believe, $9.60. And it's one that I love. It's black and white florals on one side, and then geometric shapes and such on the back. And you know how I love making cards black and white with a pop of color. Today I'm going to show you the spotlighting technique, and that's how we'll incorporate the pop of color. All right, I'm going to flip my camera around right now, and while I'm doing that, would you please share this live video and invite others to join us on this September 16th afternoon. Whoops, I need one more. this. Okay. Oh, I see so many of you are on already. Thank you so much. I love having you all here. Lori, I think you're right. My kids are showing me lots of love when they help me with things like that. You know, I felt like it was just a win for everybody. So, yeah. And, you know, John and his friend, Mike, they're very good guys. And I know that they will pay it forward in the future. So it's just, yeah, I felt good about giving them that. And I told John, whatever the two of them don't take, he can sell the rest of the tools. Some things there were multiples of, and Andrea and John could put the money towards their house fund or whatever. But it felt so good to have the help on that big job. And it felt good to give those things to the guys because I know they'll use them. All right. Today we're going to be making 3 cards. I should show you the DSP first. It's called Perfectly Penciled. And these are basically the patterns, the floral patterns on the one side. And then if you flip them on the back, oh, here is another floral, which is kind of cool. But then just others with geometric shapes and such. And so makes it very versatile. You can use this any time of year. And I love a good sale. So the fact that it's on sale this week for week 3 of our September deals, I love. And a lot of times when we've talked about spotlighting in the past, we've done some stamping and then you just color a portion of the stamp and maybe pop it up or do something. Today, I'm spotlighting with the Designer Series paper. So I have no stamping on these 3 cards. So I'm going to go through these one at a time. On each of them, I am using the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and dies. However, you can do this with punches as well. So anything I'm showing you today with dies, you can do the spotlighting technique with punches as well. So, oops, I need to do one thing. So I'm starting with a piece of Perfectly Penciled Designer Series paper that is 4 by 6. And I'm cutting this down to 4 by 5 1/4. And go ahead and save that 3/4 inch piece because we're going to use it on the inside of our card. And now is when I need my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm just going to pick a spot on this piece of Designer Series paper that I would like to showcase, that I would like to spotlight by adding color to it. So here's my example. I pulled something from the bottom corner. It can be from wherever you want. It could be right in the middle. It could be up in any of the corners. Ooh, I kind of like that because you get the butterfly and the flowers. But then I like this one too. I think I'm going to do this because on this one I can get a butterfly and flowers. So it's just a little bit different from my sample in that I've placed the die in a different place on my Designer Series paper. And I should tell you, I am using one of the circle dies from the Stylish Shapes, right? Stylish Shapes dies, okay? It's the 3rd largest circle. But you can do this with any size dies or punches that you like. Now, I am going to be coloring with blends. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper And because I'm spotlighting just this, I'm only coloring this part of it, all right? And I should get some kind of blue out for the butterfly. I have my colors for, what is this? Tahitian Tide. I think nope. Okay. I want balmy blue. I pulled one of 2 different sets. So I'll just do my butterfly first. This is the dark balmy blue. And then I'll fill in with the light shade of the balmy blue. It's kind of fun coloring with these penciled figures, images, because you don't have to be quite as neat with your coloring and it still looks awesome. Okay, for the flowers, I'm using Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to show you a few different examples of this technique using different dyes. One thing I'll note too is sometimes like this, I had to think, well, is this a flower? Is it a bud? It is a leaf? Whatever. So sometimes you might have to kind of place that piece back in so that you know. Okay, so I know this is a bud. That's a flower. That's a little piece of flower right there. All right, so that's the one thing to think about as you're doing this. If you're unsure, instead of guessing, just pop it back into the larger piece, and then you'll know for sure. And I'm using Granny Apple Green for the leaves. And I think I have showed you my trick or tip, whichever you want to call it, for these very narrow black stems. If you kind of want to give them some color, just draw right over them with the fine tip of your Stampin' Right marker. And then those black stems don't look quite as harsh. So now let's put our card together, and I will be giving away all of the cards I make today. I'm behind. I've got a few to mail out. So if you're somebody who gave me your address and you're waiting, don't worry, it's still coming. I'm just a few behind. I'm getting them in the mail, or to the mailbox. To the post office, I should say. And that piece of 3/4 inch DSP that I cut off from the one end, I'm just flipping it over and I'm using that to decorate the inside of my card. And then for this, the black and white portion, I'm going to adhere flat to my card front. I'm going to put a little bit around the edges of that circle, that hole. And then my last step is I'm going to pop this up and put it on my card front. Now, when I put this on my card front, I do want to match up the images on the die cut circle to the larger piece of DSP. So in other words, this is not matched up. all right? So I just want to take it and turn it a little bit until I really get those matched up, which is right about there, okay? So you see the difference if it's not matched up versus if it is. So for the spotlight technique, you do want to match up the images. And I like to just pop that up a little bit, okay? And then I'm going to finish it off with some black and white gingham, a black and white gingham bow. I love this ribbon. It's so easy to work with, and it's just super versatile. You can use it on just about any card for any occasion. And it's thin, so when you make bows, it doesn't get, it's not too bulky for mailing your cards, because you don't want those cards sitting at home being stored. You want to use them up. Send out some greetings. As I like to say, make someone's day. Send a hand stamped card today. And I'm just going to put it up here by the flower. All right. And I'm not even going to put a sentiment on here because I know I can use this for lots of different occasions. And I'm just going to leave it be like that. And then if you are one of the lucky 3 people to receive one of the cards made today, you will get to use the card however you like for any occasion or reason for sending cards. All right, now let's do a second one. So on that, I used 1 die, okay? And you can see the spotlighting just because I added the color, and I did pop it up. You don't necessarily have to pop it up. The spotlighting takes place because of the color I added to that small part. But here's another way to do some spotlighting. And this makes that spotlighted part pop, maybe stand out a little bit more if you put a black background on it. So let's make this one. Again, I'm starting with 4x6 piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4 inches. And I'll save this strip to use on the inside of my card. Bringing my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in. And on this one, I am only going to be die cutting from the DSP with the smaller of the 2 deckled edge. Is that what they're called? Deckled edge rectangles? I should know. Deckled rectangle dies. I was complicating it a little too much. So I'm placing the larger die here just so I get an idea of, because I don't want to go too close to the edge. So if I lay both of them down, then I get a pretty good idea of where I want to actually die cut the smaller one from. All right. You don't want to get too close to that edge with the small one. So kind of lay it out with the larger die. So I will cut this. Oh, people are still jumping on. So nice to see you all. Okay, before we start coloring or putting that together, I'm going to take the second die, the one that's the next size larger, and just cut basic black cardstock with it. I don't know where you all are. I know some of you are in Ohio, but we've got people from Alaska and Illinois and all kinds of places on here. But I hope your weather is as nice as ours is in Central Ohio. But I have to say, it has been very hard staying focused on my work today. I'm looking for my scrap paper. What did I do with that? Well, I don't know where it disappeared. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's just really hard to stay focused when the weather is so nice. You know, it's like warm and sunny during the day, hardly even hot, I would say, just warm, very warm. And cool evenings. I mean, this is like perfect weather for me. And I know that the fall weather and the winter weather is coming. So like I said, it's just, I would really rather be outside. I do have some outside work to do this weekend, though. I have some patches in my yard that I've been wanting to fill in, and I think they need a little help. So I bought a thatching rake, and I'm going to thatch in those spots before I lay some grass seed this fall. So that'll be my outdoor work. And the Ohio State game isn't on until 7, so that's nice. I have all day to do that. But yeah, just kind of a quiet weekend at home. We have a family event next week. So Emily will be coming home for some family time, and then Andrea's birthday the weekend after that. But this weekend is just me at home with some quiet time and getting some things done around the house and yard. But yeah, it's when you have these gorgeous days at this time of year, it's so hard to stay focused when we'd rather be outside. But the good news is, since I was having a hard time focusing, I thought, okay, I worked for maybe 2.5, 3 hours this morning. And then I thought, okay, just take a break. And I did walk 3 miles. So I got some exercise in, as well as some sunshine and fresh air. Now, when I add this spotlight piece to the basic black cardstock, I can either lay it flat or pop it up on dimensionals when I put it on the card front. So I'll let you see both, and you can tell me what you think. Whoops. For the inside, I'm using basic white, obviously. That measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'm going to flip over that extra piece of DSP I have. And this time I think I'll put it at the top rather than the bottom of the inside. Just change it up. I find too that if I cut my 12 by 12 paper into 4 by 6 pieces, when I want that DSP to basically be a whole background for my card front, if I cut 4 by 6 and then down to 5 1/4, I don't have all the scraps. I'm using them up as I create the cards. Now, we could get fancy and do something like this, but that's totally not the spotlight technique. But you see how just a change like that would give you a totally different look for your card, a whole different design element that way. Whoops, some gummy stuff there. So this is it laying flat, or I can pop it up on dimensionals. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to add a little bit of this black and white gingham ribbon and use it to tie a knot. That will be just to the right of our spotlight. I'm so glad you all said pop it up. I did my sample flat and I was like, oh, you know, I guess that's okay. Because I figured you all would pop it up, but I wanted to show you both ways. Oh, for heaven's sakes, Mary. My fingers don't want to cooperate. What happened here? What am I getting stuck on? Alrighty, there we go. And this does go all the way around the card front. But I don't mind because it looks neat inside there. It looks neat and clean on the inside when you open it up. So I'm okay with that. I don't like to do that if it's something that's going to be kind of messy and distracting on the inside. But for something like this, I'm okay with it. And you all said pop it up, so that's what I'm going to do. Again, we are wanting to match up the images. So like here's a good spot where I can match up the stem. Let's see, can match up the flowers. I think I need to scoot over a bit. There we go. Let's see, this is the stem for this flower right here. So if you follow with my finger, you can see I have that lined up well. All right, isn't that pretty? Again, super simple, right? But we put a spotlight on the DSP with our coloring. So that is card number 2. Oh, and here, you can see here, they're pretty much the same, aren't they? But you just get a little pop with the dimensionals. I think both are fine, but if you're like me, why not use the dimensionals, right? Okay, let's do one more. And this is the one. And I use the rectangle Picture This die. All right. Now, I will say I have an idea. These are popped up on dimensionals, but I want to show you something that I tried, didn't do, but I wanted to hear your opinion of it. So we're going to finish this off just a wee bit differently so that these spotlighted areas pop even more. Once again, I'm starting with my 4x6 piece. I'm going to cut down to 5 1/4 inches, and then we'll do the die cutting. So this is that Picture This die. The other one in the set is circles. All right, you get 2 of these dies in the set. So you can do some fun things, mixing and matching of colors and DSP all kinds of things with these. On those circles, sometimes you could do like a peekaboo, like maybe, I think I did it with the, oh, what is it? The farm animals. Like when those first came out, you may have seen that. Facebook Live. And I'm just going to put this die right in the center of my DSP. The DSP is 5 1/4 by 4 inches, just like for the other cards I made. Joan, thanks so much for jumping on and for sharing. I appreciate it so much. It's nice to have you here. Wow, the number just keeps going up. Thank you, everybody. All right, I'm going to punch these out. Now on this one, just to make your life a little easier, keep these in order, especially the top and bottom, because the top and bottom are exactly the same size. So kind of keep them in order while you're doing the coloring for the spotlight card. It just makes it easier when you go to lay them on your card front. I'm going to do some real quick coloring here. Now here's where I'm going to fit it in because I wasn't sure what that little part was there, and that's a flower. So I'm going to fill that in. And I think I'm good. This little part is a flower. Let's see, any more flower? Oh, this is flower. And that's a flower. And this is also, I'm referring back to my larger piece of DSP when I'm deciding if those are flowers or leaves. Again, because of the style of this DSP, the penciled drawing style, the sketch style, it makes coloring quick and easy. You don't have to be perfect. Although I should be using the smaller tip, I think. How many of you have this DSP? If you have it, great. You are all set. Just grab some punches or dies and you're set to shine the spotlight on it. And if you don't have it, but it's on your wish list, or now you've added it to your wish list, it is on sale this week. Instead of $12, it's on sale for $9.60 through Wednesday evening. Okay? Part of the September weekly deals. Unless you just ordered more. I was thinking about that too, because I just have this one package. And I thought, ooh, because this paper will be around through next spring. So I might want to use it again. And it's just really fun to work with because it is so versatile. I was even thinking with the patterns and shapes on the back, and it could be used for masculine cards, right? Some of these could be used for masculine cards. I don't know about that one so much. But yeah, lots of fun things. Even Halloween, you could use your blending brushes and add pumpkin pie ink to the stripes or the polka dots, and you'll have black and orange for Halloween. Or black and orange for, oops, I think I missed a flower. Black and orange for if you're a Bengals fan. I know I see some names out there. Kathy Deal. I see some Bengal fans on here with me. And I'm excited to show you my alternate for how I want to put these in, put them on my card. And I'll see what you think about that idea. Have any of you been crafting today? Or do you have plans to do any crafting on the weekend? Okay, I don't know where my other marker is. Now, where could that have gone? Nobody else is here but me. Where would I have put that? Well, I have no idea, folks. Did I drop it on the floor into the wastebasket? No. Oh, here it is. Not where it's supposed to be. That's why I couldn't find it. Oh my gosh. Almost finished coloring. This had quite a bit on it since I'm spotlighting 3 areas with the Picture This die. Okay, I think I got it all. Whoops, almost. All right, so now let's put our card together. My card bases today have all been 4 1/4 by 11 inches, 4 1/4 by 11, and then you want to score it 5 1/2 on the long side. All right, now here I can flip it over and do the polka dots, or I can just leave it and do, whoops, show the floral side, which I think I'm going to do. Now, Since this card has lots of coloring, I'm not going to take the time to do it, but this might be something that you want to color before you adhere it to the inside before you adhere the cardstock to the inside of your card. And that way you're kind of showing the spotlighting on the inside as well. But like I said, for the sake of time, I'm going to leave it alone right now. Thought that corner was folded, but it's actually the paper. It has a little bit of black sketching right there. Okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals on each of these. Oh, it's kind of fun on the back, isn't it? Using more dimensionals than I would, like if these were sentiments, I wouldn't be using all these dimensionals, but I want to make sure that they really stay popped up all along. Whereas if it were cardstock and I just put 2 dimensionals on there, that would probably be just right. But since the DSP is thinner and I'm popping up the whole area, I want to use more dimensionals. Okay, so here is where I thought I might want to do something different. Let me lay these in. And then I'll pull in my sample and you can tell me what you think. So for my sample, they are popped up on dimensionals, but they're directly over the open spaces. On the second one, here, I'm thinking, what if I kind of take them off center so that just a little bit of black is showing on the 2 sides? What do you think of that? Yes, no, thumbs up. Tony says she likes a little bit of the black showing. I kind of do too. It just, you know, it matches up well enough that you still get that true spotlight technique showing, but it just sets it off. It makes it pop a little bit more. So let's do that. I was so hoping you all would say that. Now I feel like I want to go back and change my sample, but because I was going to do it this way first, and then I thought, no, I'm going to show them the basic and then see if they want to step it up by going off center a little bit. Oh, you all are in agreement. You like it off centered with a little black showing. There we go. Now here you can see I used the black and white gingham ribbon again for my bow, but before I made the bow, I colored it with the Flirty Flamingo Stampin' blend. And I'm deciding if I want to color it again. Yes, it does look kind of 3D, Lori. I agree. So you tell me, should I leave the black and white ribbon as is? Should I color it with Flirty Flamingo, or should I color it with Granny Apple Green? So there's 3 choices: as is, pink, or color it with the Granny Apple Green. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to add some black classic matte dots to the card front. Oh, look at you all. Green? Somebody said as is. We've got more votes for green. Let's give the green a try. Oh, come on. So when you are coloring your ribbon or even embellishments, anything else, you want to use the paintbrush tip of your Stampin' blend and lay it on its side. Don't be coloring by pressing on the tip. Lay it on its side and you can go right along that ribbon. Now, it generally, depending on the ribbon, will seep through to the other side, but I always like to go over at the other side just to be sure that I didn't miss any spots. Now, if I was not doing a Facebook Live, I would probably give this a minute or so to dry. Like I would have done this, let it dry, and then maybe put my embellishments on and come back to this. It doesn't need much time because they are alcohol markers and alcohol dries pretty quickly, but fabric does not dry as quickly as coloring on paper. So that's why I like to give the ribbon a little extra time to dry. And this ribbon is fun to color for the holidays. Think black and orange for Halloween. You can do red and black for winter time. You could do a light pink in the spring, bright yellow for summer, like Daffodil Delight for summer. Again, matching up maybe school colors or team colors. So I love it when we can use our products in lots of different ways for lots of different reasons. The more versatile, the better, right? And let's see, I think I'm going to put it right here this time. Oh, I do like the green. I do like it. Okay. All right, everybody, let me pull these 3 cards in here. Again, these are all samples of spotlighting with designer series paper. In particular, the perfectly penciled designer series paper. I love how they all turned out. Same technique, same products, but totally different cards. Okay, I love it. And think of all the different reasons you could use these cards. Let's see how many we can list. How would you use these cards? I think sympathy comes to mind right away for me. Barb, you like this one, the one that looks 3D the best? The third one? Okay. Sympathy, birthday, thinking of you, congratulations, maybe a wedding shower, bridal shower, retirement. We could go on and on, anniversary, maybe even wedding, especially if their colors are in that pink range. Black and white is always good for weddings, I think. Get well, yes. Okay. All right. If you are interested in being one of the winners of one of these 3 cards, please type in the comments now, spotlighting. Okay, that's the name of the technique, spotlighting. Yep, spotlighting, you got it. Kathy, I'm glad you like the cards. Thanks for joining me. Okay, if you like what you see here and did not share yet, I would appreciate it if you would share. That just helps me broaden my reach, and I always like connecting with current followers, but bringing in new followers as well. All right, any questions for me before I say goodbye? Any questions? Okay. Again, thank you all for being here on this Friday afternoon, September 16th. And I look forward to meeting up with you again. Have a lovely weekend and happy stamping always.